Because I know a lot of women are like, well, he's on child support and he don't pay the child support, so I'm not letting him see the kid. Okay, the kid, this is not a lease.
Man.
You're not. Wow. Then the women that have the father that's not trying at all, they say, "And we don't need him." I'm like, why don't you get some child support? "Can we don't need him." But the father that's trying, you want to take him through the mud.
That's crazy.
Women, you're hurting yourself. I hear a lot of women saying what they want these days, and if a man can't afford me and can't do this, and you're putting down someone that may not want to do that or doesn't have the ability to pay 100%. For the things you want.
100. Okay, what's the deal breaker?
Weave.
Oh.
You're like, weave.
Let me see. You got track in the back? Why people be dragging you? that you just
How
had
did we
on?
get here?
No, I want to talk about that real quick because you ignored me.
We can talk about it.
Real quick.
What would you tell, like I said, 99% of my audience is women, and a lot of women that watch me are single. Mm-hmm. What would you say to single women that are raising daughters?
Do your best to have the father in their life and in their life for real. My dad always says this about my mom. My parents divorced when I was 3, and my dad left the state. And she said the first year or so, because I asked her recently, I said, how often did I talk to my dad when he left? She's like, oh, Naeem, you gonna be mad. I was like, nah, I'm not gonna be mad. Me and my dad have a great relationship. I just want to know, because you don't have a sense of time when you're that young.
When you're that young.
Yeah. She's like, well, at first he didn't call at all. She said I would call him on his birthday, holidays, make sure you spoke to him.
Wow.
But he wasn't calling at all. So I think it was kind of like that from 3 till about 6. And at 6 is when he got a job working he became a flight attendant, actually. He worked for United. And then I was able to see him much more because now he could fly for free. I could fly for free. Bring me and my brother would go see him. But when my dad speaks about my mom, he says she made him be a father when he wasn't. She helped him be a father when he was trying. And then when he was ready to fully be a father, she got out the way. So there's a lot of women that they hold so much resentment towards the father of their child. And I've always said that it's the fathers that are trying to be active, they get the short end of the string. Women sometimes they're bitter, and to the 99% women crowd, this is not all of you, but I've seen this happen often. Then the women that have the father that's not trying at all, they say, "And we don't need him." I'm like, why don't you get some child support? "And we don't need him." But the father that's trying, you want to take him through the mud.
That's crazy. I've seen that time and time again, where I've seen women treat the good guys horrible. They want more money out of them. They send them through the court system again and again and again. But the bad guys, they leave them alone for some reason. The ones who ain't doing nothing, I don't want nothing to do with them. Oh no, I'm gonna just let them be. You have sympathy for the bad guys, but you have vitriol for the good guys. I never understood that concept, and that is strange as hell to me.
And you have to really look at the bigger picture. The bigger picture is the child. The bigger picture is the daughter. And it's something about a father being in a daughter's life that's so very important for their development, because they're seeing that love early on from a man.
From a man. You're the first example that she sees in a man.
Exactly. So to the women out there, put your egos aside, because I know a lot of women are like, well, he's on child support and he don't pay the child support, so I'm not letting him see the kid. Okay, the kid, this is not a lease.
Man.
You're not driving like you don't pay your lease, you can't drive the car.
Wow.
You still gotta help them.
That is powerful. I've never heard an analogy like that, to say that women use their kids as a lease. If you don't pay the child support, you can't see your child or whatnot. You gotta think about it. People are still going through their own lives and situations. And once you split and then you tear someone down, you don't know exactly what they're feeling. You only caring about exactly how you feel out of the situation. I do think it's very one-sided a lot of the times. They only think about their side. They don't think about the guy's side, his feelings, thoughts towards the situation.
Because a lot of these daughters, where's daddy? They want the dad to be around. And for the fathers out there, do better.
Come on.
You got to do better, man. I hear stories all the time. I know a lot of women that wanted to be married. Women, y'all have FOMO, right? So y'all want to be married so bad, and then you find this great guy, you marry him, have a child with him, and then it doesn't work. And if you're the one that ends the relationship, a lot of time the guy is like, he's not showing up as a father because he's mad that you don't want to be with him. And it's not a good look. So men fuck up too, but that every other weekend shit is not, it doesn't work for anyone.
Yeah.
Because this man, if there's 31 days in a month and you're only seeing this kid 4 or 5 days a month, it's now kind of like a hassle to you because it's not part of your day-to-day shit.
That's
true.
Yeah.
So you're like, all right, I gotta see my kid this weekend, but I wanted to do this. I gotta put that off. All right, let me go see the kid. Now the kid really don't even want to see you half the time because they don't know you like that.
Nigga.
Yeah, you ruining the kid's routine. The kid want to go play with his friends. He's spitting facts right now, man. This is something that a lot of people don't want to talk about because, of course, as a father or as an adult, you have to just say, man, I want to see my kid. I want to spend time with my kid. But if you've been through some form of a split, a breakup, a divorce, it's going to affect your feelings towards the woman and the child a lot of the times. I hate to say it. We are humans. It's just natural. It's a natural response. It's better to just keep the unit together and then everybody stays happy. But if you only trying to chase happiness, that's going to be a fleeting feeling that's not going to last forever.
They don't know you.
Right.
Women, you're hurting yourself when you do that type of custody. Because now you don't even, and you still want to have your life, and now you getting a sitter instead of just having the kid with the dad.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not a parent. I'm nowhere near a parent. I gotta find a spouse first, a man that I like.
Why people be dragging you? that you just
How
had
did we
going on?
get here?
No, I want to talk about that real quick.
Please.
Because you ignored
We
me.
could talk about it.
Real quick. Because you.
And I could edit it out if I don't like what you're about to say.
Damn. I reached out. I was like, "What's up? You need some help?" Remember that? And then you was like, "Stop playing." And
Yes.
And I was like, "Nah, I'm serious." But that was before it really exploded. Because I saw your video and I was like, I'm not gonna say nothing. Like I'm really just trying to. It's like a random act of kindness.
I really thought you were being funny. Number one, you're a comedian, and number two, the video wasn't about, I'm not crying. I think that's the issue. My homeboy was like, if you're not going to tell the whole story and give context, you have to be quiet because you're not giving details of what you're talking about. So you're talking to your friend. So you and your friend know what you're talking about.
The first video?
I'm talking about in general.
Okay.
Everything that I ever say, unless you're going to go into detail and say, I'm not crying because of H&M. I'm crying because everybody that I gave money to previously is gone out of my life. And I'm thinking about that moment right now.
This conversation has transitioned into something else, but I believe that he's talking about when she lashed out online and saying that her, things were a little bit different. She had to shop at H&M, the whole nine. I know she said a lot of things online, but I think that's where the conversation is going to now.
So unless you're going to articulate to the fullest, me and my friend know because she's in my life. The audience doesn't know. So it made it look like I was crying because I have to shop at H&M. What? I will move back in with my grandmother. I'm investing all of my finances. I never said I was broke. What I said is my liquid is getting low. Why? Because I'm building $1 billion company that I truly believe in for the Black women that are dragging me. Like for us to just be better. But, I take accountability on if you're not going to fully explain what you're feeling, people can't read my mind.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So,
yeah, you can't come out crying that you have to shop at H&M now. People, when you say something like that, you making it sound like you were eating off the high hog and now you got to go back and eat with everybody else, and you shame so many people in the midst of it as well. People who I shop at H&M. There's nothing wrong with their attire and whatnot. So it makes it look like I have to shop at this now while I'm at this level. And like you said, someone outside reaching out to you, they won't know. They only gonna see you online crying, and for someone to be crying about something like that publicly, it seems like something is really wrong. So you best believe once that happens, people are probably gonna reach out and ask these questions as to why you're doing this.
You said something really important. Saying that you prefer something without putting down the opposite of it.
100%.
Because I feel like I hear a lot of women saying what they want these days, and a man can't afford me and can't do this. And you're putting down someone that may not want to do that or doesn't have the ability to pay 100%. For the things you want.
100%.
When you can simply say, I would like to be with a man that can do this for me. That's what I want.
100%.
And the woman can have her standard. Whether she gets it or not, that's going to be one thing. But a lot of women out there, they'll literally shame the guy that she qualifies for. That's the problem. And it sends a narrative out there that, hey, these guys aren't great guys. They don't qualify. Women, you shouldn't date these guys. The 9-to-5ers, the average guys. We all get grouped in a box to say that, no, don't date these guys because they're problematic. I want better, but guess what? You deal with the guys that are supposedly better on paper, and you still getting sent through the cock carousel possibly. You still getting sent through the rat race. You constantly trying to fight for attention. You trying to fight for them to stay with you, but you don't even understand exactly what you want and what you qualify for. That's the problem.
And if you're not that man, that's fine. There's somebody else for you, and there's somebody else for me. But when it's the shaming of people.
Yeah. On people, that's never my intent.
Like this,
no, that's never my intent.
I think women that look for someone to take care of them, it's confusing to me.
Okay.
Because I'm always like, what did you aspire to be when you were a kid? Because most people, when you go, I want to be this when I grow up.
That is true.
Were you saying I want to be kept?
Right.
You 10 years old, like I can't wait to get old so a nigga take care of me.
Right.
And to the women out there that are looking for that don't have it, it's not always what you think it's not what it's cracked up to be, because you really they kind of own you.
Yeah.
That is true. I want to expound a little bit on that. I'm going to let them finish. A lot of young girls growing up, they actually get in the mindset that they want to be moms. They want to be like their mothers. They have baby dolls, the whole nine. Just because you want to be a mom does not mean that you still will not have to work. Now, knowing old traditions, if you were to get with someone, that whole being taken care of, that's if you get with a guy with the means that's able to do that, or if you're able to follow a guy. In the time we live today, I understand that it's a lot harder in 2026. Both parties are going to have to work, but to just say you want a child or to be a mother, you're going to have to learn a dynamic from possibly your own mother or good women around you to see how to navigate that. But just to say I just want to have a kid and be a mom, women are just biologically designed to want that. But if you're not set up in the correct system, you can create a false reality for yourself.
Yeah.
They expect you to do what they say. Like you can't, not that you can come and go as you please, but and some of these women that want that don't even want to be housewives. They just want to be taken care of and that taken care of too.
For sure.
That's true.
But yeah, you got to get an allowance basically.
For sure. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
No.
And then what happens when that relationship is over? Now you gotta sleep on somebody's couch until you find another sucker.
It's wild, yeah.
What do you do? You gotta. That's
why you have purpose too. Like, what is your purpose? What is your calling? What is your gift? What is God calling you to do? I think that's and even with the 9-to-5 stuff, it's like I never said there's millionaires who have 9-to-5s. Mm-hmm. It wasn't about the money. Like I'm an entrepreneur, baby. Like
you want someone that's accessible. That's it. You want someone accessible.
Yeah, and that I just think. Somebody that.
But what if that accessible guy wants you to be accessible? He don't want your schedule to be a roller coaster. See, it's always going to be another level to it, to where she might still not qualify for what she's looking for, possibly.
Understands what I'm up at 2 a.m. with ideas. I'm up at 3 a.m. with ideas. I always go to Toby and Fat because I don't know the ins and out of their marriage by any means. I don't have a deep personal relationship with them, but I just love how they travel the world together with their babies.
You can tell they're best friends.
They're best friends.
That's how David and Tamla are too. Oh my God. I'm around.
You can't go off of these internet couples or whatnot. We just had the couple that just divorced after I think 14 years. They were dating since they were kids, and they just split. So everything ain't always what it seems.
Them.
I love it.
So
I'm sorry. to everybody with a working job. That is, I never said, I never, like I said, I'm an entrepreneur. My finances are ebbs and flows. Sometimes I'm like, okay, hold on, liquid getting low. Like, I'm investing here. My money's here. It's not about finances for me.
Right.
Like where I'm at right now was never about materialistic things and money. It was about attention and validation, which I'm realizing now, but it was never about money. Material things didn't drive me, so, I can be okay without the materialistic things, but purpose and my gifts, and now I know what God is calling me to do, just focusing on that path.
But she said she could be okay without materialistic things, but she was explaining the breakdown was about her having to go back and shop at H&M, and she said that it was about her liquid getting low, so it's still about the money at the same time. Now, I know she said behind the scenes it was because she had taken care of so many people and nobody was there. I understand that, but like she said, you have to portray things the right way, because if you don't, people aren't going to understand what you actually explaining.
In dating, what do men mean when they say they're not ready? Like, what does that truly mean?
Usually it just means that they just want to do their thing. I mean, literally, they're not ready. They're not ready to be in a committed relationship.
Can it mean they just don't want to be with you?
Possibility.
I've never told a girl that I wasn't ready because I didn't want to be with her. I just kind of made it clear that I just didn't want to be with her.
Well,
this is the toss-up where some women could be in a sex category and they don't even know if they are.
You are a dime in a dozen.
Yeah. Maybe a man could be dating someone and like, I'm not ready. And then someone else comes along that makes him ready.
That's true.
Maybe this other person is like, yeah, I wasn't ready, but this.
You know what? I'll get ready for her.
Yeah, this person is somebody that I'll work towards that for.
Yeah.
But usually when a man says he's not ready, he's just honestly not ready. He wants to do his thing. He wants to be single for a minute. And I feel like, men put women, and women probably do this too, but men put women in categories.
What are the categories? Give me some.
So the category is like, all right, this is somebody that they cool. They just for fun.
Fun. Okay.
That is true.
And then it's like somebody that's like, I fuck with her. I could possibly see myself in a relationship with her, but she's missing something.
Yeah.
You might not know what it is.
No, it could be like, all right, like I've dated girls that were really cool, but I used to date this girl a long time ago who was cool as shit, but she was living off of child support.
Oh, man.
Her baby father was a NBA player. And I'm like, I can't be in a relationship with you because, first of all, my money's up and down. What if I have a dry patch and I'm not making no money now? Me and you living off of this nigga child support?
Exactly.
I'm like, nah. Like, you got to be able to carry your own.
Yeah.
I'm a man.
Yeah, because she already in a place to where child support is already driving it. That's what's keeping her lifestyle afloat. Her to get with somebody, it would have to be somebody that's making buku money. But you can already see where the mindset is probably already going to be skewed at. She's not in a regular reality if she's getting child support from an NBA player. So a woman like her, see, they don't even realize when you even put yourself in that category of being an NBA player's baby mama, you in a category you don't even realize it. A lot of guys who you might still find as attractive, they might not want to put you on that level because they know what you're going to be asking for. In the place where you already been at, he might not be able to put you there. So he know eventually you probably gonna be a headache.
I don't pay for nails, hair, waxing, all that. If I'm dealing with someone who doesn't make that much money, she at least got to be able to take care of herself with the normal.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the categories are somebody just have fun with, somebody that like, I fuck with you, but you missing something.
Whatever that something
that
is.
something is. And then there's somebody like, nah, this chick right here, I can work towards something with this woman.
Wow.
She has the important things that I need in a partner. And we can see where this is going to go.
How do you feel like
It's
women
realistic.
can better understand men? Like, what can we do to better understand men?
Listen to them.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not, with a relationship, it's not one size fits all. So you got to really take the time and get to know that person and actually have conversations with them. Like, I'm not a person that likes to be polled and like, what are your favorite colors? I don't want, just take the time and actually get to know me.
Yeah.
But it's certain things that you can ask. I'm going to tell you a no-no for me.
Okay.
When women ask a man's friends what to buy him as a gift.
Why?
First of all, my woman shouldn't even be chit-chat with my friends like that or even have contact. I ain't gonna lie, I'm not mad at that. That's a big problem. You need to just ask me or get to know me. You'll learn that information from me. You don't need to ask my friends what I like. And if you chit-chat with my friends, like, that's strange.
Because nobody's around this man more than you.
Exactly.
So you should know what to get him. Why you got to ask somebody else what to get? I can see if it's a new relationship, but if it's somebody that you spent an ample amount of time around, especially if you live together, you should know. I have a gift giving process. I tell the people all the time, it doesn't fail. It's 3 things.
Okay.
Something you want,
Okay.
something you need, or something that I want you to have.
I'm not mad at that.
And when you do the something that I want you to have, if you deliver it like that, hey, I know you never say anything, but this, I want you to have this. That takes all the pressure away from it of them saying, why the fuck
I didn't
you
need
give me
this. I didn't ask for this. Right.
That's true.
It's something I just
I
wanted
want you to have.
have.
That's great.
I don't like gifts that's not functional. Just being honest. I don't want something that I cannot use. If I know it's just going to sit around, I'm never going to use it unless it's like maybe something more sentimental value. That's cool. But if it's supposed to be something that's functional, an item or a tool or something, please make it something that I can use. If I can't, just return it or whatnot. I'd rather you have your money than me just keep it and never use it.
You know what they need if you pay attention. You know what they want if you pay attention. Because women will say things, and I'm a guy that likes to get gifts for no reason, because it takes the pressure off the big holidays, the birthdays. Because then if like, all right, if I don't hit it on the nail on your
For
birthday,
Christmas, I just got you this. Right.
This nigga consistent.
I did this because I heard you say, and it could be small, it could be big,
I love
it could
that.
it's just, I'm just a thoughtful person. So
He's like, I'm just a Pisces.
Right.
Whatever that means.
and I always give gift receipts. I don't care about you exchanging it. I want
Yeah.
you to know that I actually made an attempt to get you something I thought you would like. And if you don't like it, take it back in something else. I'm okay with that.
I love that. Aw.
Mature.
Oh,
Mature
Naeem.
brother.
Nice guy.
I'm not a nice guy.
You were so funny. Okay. So what do you value most in a woman outside of her looks? And what do you think, maybe not most men, I don't know if you could speak for all men, but what do you see in your circle of friends? Like that's something that was missing. They value this in a woman outside of looks. We know men are visual creatures, so looks is going to be a priority, but outside of that.
Drive.
Yeah.
Or actually, intelligence.
Okay.
I like someone that's equally yoked with me. When it comes, you want to be able to have a conversation with someone that can relate to the things you're saying. You don't got to dumb it down for them, so.
She don't have to have my same intelligence level, but she got to be willing to learn and listen. Be okay with hopping on my train of my thought process. If you're good with that and you're literally learning from me and you appreciate the things I'm saying, that's just as good. You don't have to be as smart as me or think the way how I think. I think that's something that's just for me though.
Looks, intelligence, and his drive. Just goal oriented. Hygiene.
For sure.
That's big.
You looking at me like, bitch, I heard about you not showering.
No, not. That's not for you. I just want to sit on that for a pause.
Sit on it to the camera.
Okay. Hygiene.
He looked at me like hygiene.
Not
Yeah,
you.
remember that viral moment?
I've
when you
never
said,
I've never heard anything about you stinking. You're good.
Oh, man.
I know I don't stink, but oh my
Hygiene is
God.
important. And I have deal breakers.
Okay, what's the deal breaker?
Weave.
Oh.
Weave is a deal breaker.
Damn.
Closure on my head. Not that I'm just saying. Obviously, you're not trying to bag me. You're married, but I'm just saying. You're like weave.
Let me see. You got track in the back?
This whole thing is multiple tracks.
Yeah. Let me turn to the side.
So if I turn to the left, you might see this lace.
Hilarious. It looks pretty good though. That's good.
No weave.
In 2026, it's gonna be hard to get around weave hairstyles and whatnot. A lot of women are gonna wear it or whatnot. That's not a deal breaker for me, but I'm not mad at a man having that boundary to say he doesn't want his woman to wear weave. That's gonna make it a little bit more difficult because a large majority of women wear weave, whether they black or not. All ethnicities do it. It's just, I look at it as a woman thing, but I can respect the man who wants his woman to be natural. It's his woman, so I get it.
Ever.
Nah, that's out.
No matter what. So
Man,
you just
gotta have
which means you're not going to date somebody who has alopecia
well, you can,
or bad hair.
I'm cool with the baldy.
Damn.
Oh.
If you fall out, rock the baldy.
Look at me trying to. You're not. You said you don't like weave, so you know what the audience hears. I have alopecia, and I'm not good enough.
No, I'm saying, well, just like
That's what y'all be doing to me.
just like a woman can have deal breakers or things that she needs and wants.
Why not weave though? Why?
I'm just an.
I get it.
I'm an advocate of everything natural.
So you
And-
wouldn't date somebody with a fake body.
No, I'll give a pass on implants if like you had kids or something, and they got deflated or something, or even if you don't, if I like you enough, then I'll overlook that. But the fake ass is a hard no.
Yeah,
No
most
matter
guys
what.
don't-
That's
we don't
that's
like
a
it.
hard no.
Even if you can't tell it's fake.
There's like 1 out of 100 that I can't tell
For
is
sure.
fake, but I'll ask. But I want, because here's the problem: women that let me be careful with how I say this.
Please. We can edit it out.
No, I don't.
Okay.
I want to stand on everything I'm saying.
I know that's right, because I might be editing some stuff I said.
when women do things to their body because they're insecure, the insecurity don't
go
They don't go
away.
away.
They don't.
You got to fix the root of the problem.
Right.
Yeah.
Change-
Honestly, it probably gets worse once they get the body work done because now they constantly want to be validated and reinforced for the new work that has been done. And they're always looking at that spot to make sure that it's, an upgrade. And it would be problematic. I agree.
Even like, remember like back in the day, they do the Geek the Chic, where the dude was a nerd in school and then he started lifting weights and he wants to bring on a woman that used to shit on him.
I remember that.
Yeah, you got muscles now, but you still a nerd.
Yeah.
You still insecure.
Yeah.
You
the
so-
same person.
Right. You so insecure
person.
that you had to bring on somebody from 20 years ago to see you now.
To validate
crazy.
you.
To validate you now. You're still insecure. So it's important to be with somebody that is secure. And we all, and it's your duty as a partner in a relationship to also keep your partner secure. With certain things.
Yeah.
Right? You can't be like, if you're in a relationship now, you got to respect, there has to be boundaries. I had a conversation about this the other day with my boy. He's in a fairly new relationship and he has female friends and they're used to being like, hugging him and being on his shoulder and everything, and it's completely platonic, right? And those women can't do that anymore now that there's a new woman around.
100%.
And he has to check them like, hey, I know y'all don't mean shit about it, but
I'm in a relationship
Respect.
now.
yeah,
Respect.
you can't. And even if you still do it, just don't do it when she's around.
For sure.
Yeah, facts.
So it's a man's duty to make sure his woman feels seen and secure,
I love that.
and vice versa. A pet peeve of mine is when you are with your significant other, someone comes up to have a conversation with you and you don't introduce them. That is one of the
It's
most
horrible.
disrespectful things
Yeah.
you can do.
Yeah.
Now, it's one thing if it's, hey, how you doing? A flyby. But when they stop to have a conversation and you don't acknowledge this person or you don't acknowledge me, we about to have a fight. It's so bad. I've seen it done so bad that I, as the person that's coming to talk to a female friend that's with her man, I speak to this nigga
For sure.
because I see how you're playing him right now.
The insertion, he's 100% right. Sometimes you still got to insert yourself to go ahead and command the respect and kind of control the dynamic of how the conversation is going to go, because respect is a big thing a lot of the times. And some people, let's say they don't give it because it's awkward. Some people don't think about it. But if you know it's going to be a problem, just go ahead and let certain things be known.
Like, you're being disrespectful.
Yeah.
And I've seen guys not even, if it goes on for longer than 5 seconds, they'll say, hey, I'm, cause they're like,
I'm James.
you're not about to have me looking
Nigga.
stupid here.
Yeah.
Right.
That's like relationship 101.
101.
Yeah.
You should write a book.
Oh,
I'm gonna leave it right there. That's pretty good. I think he spit on a lot of different points. I'm not mad at his perspective. The perspective changes in dating as depending on if you married, if you single, a lot is gonna change. And I like even earlier in the conversation when he mentioned when his mom, when he asked his mom about how often did his dad call or whatnot when they first split, and she said that he would be upset. The brain of a child and the brain of an adult is completely different. The way how I feel as a child towards my father probably would be more hateful. I said a lot of horrible things. I didn't like him. As I got older, I learned to appreciate the things that were going to be beneficial to my life. The good character that I learned from him for his working the whole nine. Can I learn everything from him? No. Did I appreciate everything? No. But I have to learn how to break those things up now as an adult and just take in everything, spit out what I don't need. And I'm okay with that with my father. He wasn't perfect whatsoever, but I am still okay for the things I did learn. It wasn't horrible enough to where I could just say I completely dislike him. No. So I think he ended up unpacking a lot, especially when it comes down to what the single moms need to do. I mean, he put a standard on everybody. The single moms, you need to try and keep the guy in your life. That's the first and foremost. You get with a guy, you have sex with him. I don't think we'll understand the amount of power that they have in this situation, man. I think that's really the downside of it. The landscape, women growing up like guys and thinking that they're just as equal as value, and this don't work like that. Men still have to work for their validation, women don't. And if you go out there and you choose correctly, you can restructure your reality easy. You can change, you can get around certain men, you can get more proximity to guys, be a great individual, and you can latch on to somebody great. It don't always have to be the guys in your circle, especially if you're a good looking woman and you in your specific city limit. You don't have to, if you're around horrible guys, you don't have to be around that. There's great guys out there, but the sad part is that when you only go after what makes you tingle instead of what's more productive for a family for the future, you're going to cook yourself. You're going to see yourself looking back saying, damn, why did I do this? You're going to look 20 years down the line and you're going to be expecting to get better results at 45 than when you was 25. And it's okay that you grow and learn from the situations, but that don't put you at a better position because you learn. you already used up so much time at that point. So it's better, and we preach this stuff because it's better for y'all to learn this stuff early than later. I don't even feel like I be talking to people that's older a lot of the times. I feel like I'm talking to younger people because y'all still got the time to change. Don't get me wrong, older people. You can definitely change and redirect, your lifestyle and how you want, but y'all experiences done shaped y'all a certain way that it's going to be hard for you to get out of your ways if you already stuck in them. That's the difficult part about the older crowd. Even me being a 34-year-old guy, I'm going to have difficulties when it comes down to changing. Can I be changed? For sure, I'm still at that point, but certain things I'm just not going to probably bend on. And it might get worse if I don't put in the work and put in the time and effort. So sometimes it's better to get on the right mindset early as possible. That's really the keys to this generational knowledge. The shifts and the pass downs is to get it in your head earlier. That's why when you got good parents, you got good family structure, you get it into your kids at an earlier rate. You figure things out at an earlier rate. But I hate to say it, we have these traumatic situations where we having kids when we don't even understand how to be adults yet, and we're kids raising kids sometimes. And it happens, I know, but the family structure matters. Because if we start doing that too much outside of the family structure, it's going to be chaotic. And we're going to be wondering, like, why am I in this situation? Why is this so difficult? Why do I not know this stuff? Because you were taught from people who didn't know anything. And that's usually how it goes. I mean, and the world don't owe you understanding. It's just going to happen. These things are going to happen and you're going to have no control over it. The only thing you can do is try and navigate through it and put yourself in the next best position possible. That's the easiest way I can explain it. I'll have this link in the description so y'all can watch in its entirety. Make sure y'all like the video, comment below. This is JayBReacts, and until next time, y'all, peace.